On this episode of Greco Fabulous, I buy a basement! Alright guys, so I just got a message from a local game store owner. He says he has a bunch of stuff in the basement that he needs to get out. Supposedly steep discounts, so let's go see what that means. And hopefully it's something cool. Unlike me, I'm not cool. What? Like you need to have it out by like the weekend kind of frame, or what do you...
Sorta, kinda, but not really. I could probably, if I told him it's all sold, they'd probably be okay with it. There's nothing, but there's some good items. I mean, I've been picking all day in here.
It's gonna take some time.
I'll even give you the inner tube and the keyboard, though.
What is it?
There's an inner tube over here. Yeah. There could be like some really good stuff in some of these boxes. I don't even know.
Alright guys, I just bought a video game store basement. All this stuff right here. I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but there's a lot of it. It's gonna be a lot of work, but hopefully, in the end, it's a lot of money. Because that's the most important thing. It's not about collecting or nostalgia. It's about cold, hard cash, baby. Some sealed games over here. I don't think anything too crazy. But... Jeez, anybody need a Nintendo? Oh my god. What's that? Ooh. This is definitely going to be a treasure hunt. I mean, there is a lot of stuff here. Not necessarily good stuff, but there's just so much of it. I couldn't beat it for the price we got. It's going to take a lot of work. I mean, I've just moved a few boxes and I'm winded, and I'm in like peak physical condition. I mean, evolution of man, I'm at the very top, guys. So you're getting all your traits from me. But there's so much things. It's going to take several days, weeks to get it all out of here. And then find somewhere to put it, and then we just got to get on our horse and make this stuff move. So hoping there's some hidden gems in here. That's kind of the thing. Good price, but you know, you're doing all the work, and you know, hoping that, you know, something pops up to make it that much more worth it. But I don't think we can lose, so we'll see if that's true or not. Famous last words, right? Just like you know, stay tuned for the next Spidey Sense video. Famous last words. Not gonna happen, because I don't like success. All right, guys, I'm just starting the process of processing. I don't even know where to begin with these things. I mean, they were sort of, right now, just kind of a curiosity tour, to be honest. I'm just digging through things, seeing what actually has games, and if there's anything worth calling out. So I've just been digging through this bin, and the first thing that popped out right here, fortunately, it's in a generic GameStop case, but it's a Ring of Red for the PS2, which you can see has some value. But one thing with this collection I've noticed is that sometimes, you know, condition can be an issue. This actually does not look too bad. It's a little dusty, but that's a nice little find right there. Oh, smooth move, X-Lax. That was perfect, just like we planned. Only took 30 takes. Does anybody remember these games coming out? Raw Danger? So again, anything that's not SOCOM, like I have all the SOCOMs, you know what I mean? This guy right here, when nature unleashes its fury, how will you respond? You can ask my wife. It happens to her once a month. But yeah, this was a nice find. Here's another good one if it's salvageable. Obviously, this isn't the original cover art, right? Definitely an upgrade, though. It is The Thing for PS2. The disc looks a little rough on the other side, but hopefully, you know, thoughts and prayers, he'll come out okay on the other end. Here's another fun find, a Game Boy Color. Well, technically two. Never had a Game Boy Color before. It was pretty neat. This one, I threw some batteries in there, and it does power on. I don't have any Game Boy games laying around right now to, you know, fully test it, but that's exciting. This does not power on right now, so it's going to be a little bit of a science project to figure out what's going on. All right, here's another promising one. The only catch is that the disc is in pretty rough shape. So if we can resurrect this guy, it'll be a good one. Then you have games like this that aren't worth anything, but they just make you go, what were they thinking? Ants Extreme Racing.
Run, motherfucker, run!
All right, guys, day 2. I pulled some stuff out of here. It doesn't even look like I made a dent. I'm trying to go in that back corner because that's where the buried things are. So hopefully we can find some treasures. Otherwise, the plan of the attack is to get the good stuff out of here first, and then come back for all the sports and the rock band pieces and guitar heroes and whatnot. But hoping to be pleasantly surprised. This is fun. So this might end up being something right here. If you can tell, it's McDonald's branded. They're called Nano Blocks, and I don't know. Like, I mean, they come pre-built. That's supposed to be an apple pie. There's some French fries in there. I don't know what that is. Possibly ice cream. I don't know. There's a Big Mac floating around there, and this guy supposedly sold for $90 on eBay. So that's nice. This is one of my favorite parts of opening used games. Finding like handwritten cheat codes. So this was obviously Grand Theft Auto, so you can only imagine faster cars, max stamina, weapon sets, jetpack, perfect handling, unlock your wanted level, and then let's see what's left here. 250k, super punches, infinite ammo. Like, this is awesome. What a throwback. So I just found an unlabeled Game Boy Advance game. Doesn't have a fun color, so I don't expect too much out of this one, but we'll see if I can find where my Game Boy Advance is in this mess. I just remembered there was actually a Nintendo DS in this lot, and for some insane reason, the battery is still charged. So let's check it out. All right, I blew on it. Let's try this again. Here we go. Watch it be like Nicktoons. F-14 Tomcat. What the? Okay, well, I just lost my erection. So I'm not really sure why. And, I live in Massachusetts, so I feel like I should. But we got these two guys, Madden 18, the GOAT edition for Xbox One and for PS4. Now, the good thing about these is that they're both factory sealed. And for some reason, this one is selling for a lot more than that one. And I'm not really sure. Probably should get rid of it before the divorce is finalized. Hit me up, G. Oh, speaking of sports, forgot to mention this guy. Not anything crazy on the surface, but it is a sealed copy of Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2001. All right, guys, we're on day number 3 of this basement clear out. Tim's here, so he's got, the bigger set of wheels. And I don't know if I have any fantasies about getting this all done today, but we're hoping to make a dent. Try to wrap this guy up. Probably gonna have to rent a storage unit. It's like my 4th, 5th one at this point. I really should start a Patreon page. You guys should be paying for this, not me. All right, Tim, I just banged my head on a light bulb.
Me too. Me too.
So
head all over the place.
this is your first time, or your return trip to the basement.
This is it.
This is all ours.
Welcome to this chaos.
I think we should just set up shop here. Don't bother moving it.
If anybody's into drums, you let us know. We are now the drum guys.
Why? Guys, I might have found a new testing setup. I got this Titan. Excuse the mess. I haven't cleaned anything up yet, but got this little Titan player here. And as you can see, it has a built-in monitor, and it has built-in cables for PS2, PS3, Xbox, Xbox 360, Wii, all that stuff. You get power in, and you can do power out, and a bunch of other stuff. So it's pretty good. I mean, between those three, I think, or those few systems, I think you have a lot of systems covered because of backwards compatibility. So this is pretty neat. Kind of a nice find there, and I'm glad it works. So right now I'm testing kind of the higher valued games to see If they're worthy of being sold or if I'm going to have to resurface any of them. See how it goes. All right, guys, so I was starting to dig around in some of those boxes that I brought home with me. Again, my approach was that I was going to take anything that was kind of seemed a little promising, that wasn't just covered in sports games and Call of Duties and things like that. And this is what I pulled out from downstairs, not including a few GameCube games, which I'll show you in a second. I just didn't have these with me. Now, these were in all states of disarray. Most of them were actually pretty scratched up. Some worked, some didn't. I did have kind of a consumer grade disc repair system here, so I ran all of them through. I haven't retested everything to see if some of them that couldn't be that weren't working could be resurrected, and that those that were working still work. But hopefully, at least they look prettier, right? But we got some really good titles here, and I'll try to do justice for them. So here we have a loose copy of The Thing, and we got The Godfather on PS2. This one's Spy Fiction. Now, some of these are more impressive than others. This one's a good one, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone complete for Xbox. We got a couple of copies of Scarface. I believe one is complete, one is disc only. A couple copies of Matrix, Path of Neo. Family Guy. Again, not everything is going to be like, a grail or anything crazy. I got 2 copies of 50 Cent Bulletproof. This is kind of a neat one. The Xbox had a bunch of these, actually, these twofer games. On the cover, it doesn't look like anything special. Sega GT 2002. But then when I looked at the disc, I was like, oh, there's also Jet Set Radio Future. So it's 2 games on one disc. I actually have 2 of those. I got Gun Valkyrie for the Xbox here. This one, let's see, mystery game is The Bouncer. This one actually doesn't have that much value, but it's a Squaresoft game that, again, anything that kind of stood out that wasn't sports or like a first-person shooter, I wanted to grab. Let's see, this guy, Torque Prehistoric Punk, was actually in good shape. This Hulk game, Ultimate Destruction, disc only, but has some value. Here's a wrestling game that has something going on for it. This Galarian's Ash, and some of these were really weird. It might have been this one. I don't know. It was some weird game about, I don't know. It's like 2 kids and like talking about mother, but they're like in like hell. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe have you played it? Let's see. We got a couple copies of Time Splitters 2 here, which kind of gave GoldenEye vibes. This is a really random one. Raw Danger. You're like escaping natural disasters. I think this has value because of its potential rarity. I don't think it's a very good game. At least when I played it, it seemed pretty awful. Let's see what this guy is. The Warriors, that's a good one. Just loose, unfortunately. Here's a really good one. Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. That had some value from what I can see. The Suffering, Ties That Bind. Yu-Gi-Oh! Not a ton of value, but something there. And you'll see a lot of these have old price stickers, and those are kind of giveaways. This one, not a ton of value for disc only, but again, it's Final Fantasy, Dirge of Cerberus. This one's 13. Another Time Splitters 2, The Simpsons game. No manual, another one of those guys. This is Ring of Red. That was a pretty good one right there. And we got some PS1 games. Got a loose Spider-Man, which still has value even just being loose. Got Bloody Roar. That's a good one. Courier Crisis, where it's literally like the bicycle version of Road Rash. You just go around. I'm sure there's other points of the game, but you can just go around punching people on your bicycle. We've all been there, right? Twisted Metal. Definitely played the hell out of that game back in the day. And the original Grand Theft Auto. Neat thing about this is that it has an ad for Grand Theft Auto 3. So that's kind of cool. So those are all the finer picks that I could identify as of the moment. Now let's show you what kind of GameCube games are in there. And then if anything else pops up, I'm obviously going to update along the way. And as promised, here are the GameCube games that are special in this situation. You got some good ones in here. Not all of them have. They're not all complete. Yeah. Some good titles. Also got some not so good titles like sports games, but hey, GameCube is a GameCube, This would be the grade, but it's also the one that's like the most vomited on. Like this is all torn up, unfortunately, and then the insides. I don't know what got into this guy, but nothing good. But this guy, as long as he's salvageable. Guy. Why can't it be this girl, huh? Misogynist. That's all she wrote. and including the stuff in my basement. What have we done? How the hell are we gonna make sense out of this? And this is just one unit. We have like 5. You know what? I have a solution. Let's have a sale, baby! Alright guys, so I bought a basement. As you can see, I ended up with a ton of stuff. Obviously, I did not go into like minute details about every single thing I bought. I showed you some of the highlights. Some other things of worth, you know, obviously there's plenty of crapola in there as well. I mean, I got totes and totes of sports games, not the good ones, but some of them are older Genesis, so that's kind of cool, right? Mr. Brightside over here. Plenty of like common first-person shooters, your SOCOMs, your Gears of War, your Call of Duties, all that stuff. Assassin's Creed, you know, all that kind of stuff that, you know, everybody already has. And now I just like own a lot more of it. There's got to be a Guinness Book of World Record in there somewhere. So I have a lot of that, but other cool things that maybe didn't make an appearance is I got a whole bunch of systems. You saw the NESs. I got like seriously a box full of like original Xboxes, a box full of like original PlayStations, Game Gears, all kinds of stuff. It's a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure I have a monopoly on like Rock Band and Guitar Hero guitars and drum kits and stuff. No dongles, surprise, surprise, but there's just a whole bunch of stuff. So that's why when the guy came at me with take it all for $500, it was a no-brainer. Now granted, it was a no-brainer, but I still dragged my feet and was like, do I want to do this? Just because I know how much work is going to be involved in this. And, you know, we got to hop on our horses here because the longer we sit on it, the more we have to pay for storage costs and the more it eats away at our profits. So, but I bought a basement. That's pretty freaking awesome. And I know it was very video game centric. There were some toys in there, nothing crazy, but like random things like Star Trek models and Gundam Wing models and Pez dispensers and a bunch of random stuff. I mean, you saw that McDonald's thing. Who knew, right? But that being said, I'm not just a video game guy now. I do plenty of toy stuff, and I have plenty of footage to show you, especially from Retropalooza and some other fun events. Attic Invaders, baby, we got plenty to talk about. So even though this video has nothing to do with that, my next videos will. And that's a Greco promise that you can Greco take to the bank. What am I, a Smurf now? Everything is Greco? Hey kids, stop Grecoing yourself or you're gonna go blind. What the hell am I talking about? Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye!